shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad to be joined by Michał Helik. We'll start with Catherine Hanna from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Michał. After a little spell on the sidelines through injury, how good does it feel to be back and playing regularly again?
Yeah, it's a great feeling to be back, to be fit. Obviously, it was not an easy time to be injured, to cannot help the team. But I think that I used that time the best I could. And I'm really, really enjoying it now, back with the lads on the pitch, and I'm looking forward to the next game as well.
How do you use that time? Obviously, you're going through all your rehab and the physical side of things, but what else can you do to make sure that you are 100% ready when the opportunity arrives to come back?
Yeah, I think the most of time was, as you said, recovering and making my body stronger. Obviously, watching the team playing from the sideline and stands or even in TV, it's a different experience for me. But you can see from a different angle. You can see different things. So I was trying to use the time to learn what I can do if I will be back to help the team being successful.
Are you good at watching from the sidelines, or do you find it quite a frustrating experience?
No, I think it's harder than playing, to be honest, because you really want to help, but you're not able to do it, basically. So it was a tough time, but if you cannot help on the pitch, you need to try to do your best to help the team, even when you're injured in a dressing room or around the building. And yeah, but as I said, it's not the ideal thing, so I'm really happy to be back.
Ironic in a way that yourself and Matty Pearson seem to be tagging between injuries. As soon as you come back, he's picked up an injury. How, I suppose, difficult has that been, that you've not really been able to have a settled back line this season so far?
Yeah, it's not ideal that we've got so many injuries, but it's a good from that point that we've got a big squad. That when I was injured, Matty was playing. When Matty was injured, now I was playing. So in the end, I think it's good that we have that competitive squad, which help us during the injuries and during the long season we've got. But in the ideal world, you want to have all players fit, but that's not going to happen.
No, it's the nature of football, sadly.
Exactly.
I mean, fortunately, you are back and immediately back to scoring goals as well. It looks like you're going to carry on where you left off. Why do you think you seem to be in the right place at the right time so often to score as many goals as you do as a defender?
It's just the first one this season, so I would not say it's that many, but...
You were a top scorer last season, though.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I have that hunger to go. Obviously, as a centre back, you don't have many opportunities to score the goals. And when I was a kid, I always loved to score the goals. I think everyone was like going for it as a kid, and I just love that feeling to score that goal. That's why when I've got opportunity, when I'm in the box, I'm just trying my best to do it. But I think as well it's like a teamwork during the set plays. The cross has to be good, the timing of the runs, and for example, my goal was not my good run. It was like few people around doing their jobs properly as well. So in the end, it's a team effort. But obviously, it's always good to be that one who scored the goals, especially if that give us the points.
How much is it down to bravery?
Yeah, it is a bravery as well, but I think you don't need to be brave if you're doing your job properly and the other people doing it. I think more bravery is maybe in has to be with the strikers to do 1v1 duels, create an advantage or something like this. From a set place, obviously you need to have a hunger to go to the ball, to be brave as well, but I think to believe it and just to have that sniff, is that the word, where the ball can land it. I think I'm trying to use it from our box as well. Like I know where I don't want opponents to be when I'm defending, and I'm trying to use it in an opposite box just to be not an easy one to mark and uncomfortable, to make them be uncomfortable.
You mentioned the joy of scoring goals as a kid. Did you ever play as a striker?
I think everyone started when he was young, really young, as a striker. So in my young age days, I was playing there for a moment, but nothing really big. It was more like maybe like last season when we were losing, the last 5 minutes, go there and try something. I enjoy that part. Obviously, I wish we will not be losing and I will not go there. But if there was need for me to go, I was doing my best. But now my first job is to be a defender, and I'm focusing on that at most. But if I can help the team in opposite box, I will do my best to do it.
Back at home tomorrow then against Wigan. You're on a really good unbeaten run in the league at the moment. Do you sense that some momentum is building in your league form now?
Yes, I think it is. I think we feel it around the building. But we need to keep pushing. We cannot be happy of what we have at the minute because we want more. And tomorrow is a great opportunity. It's another game at home. I think we gain a bit of trust of the fans as well back. So we need to keep pushing and perform tomorrow to have a good result.
As you say, that the home form this season is really, really good. And during your time at Huddersfield Town, that hasn't always been the case. It can be a difficult place to play. Again, do you feel as a player that it's different now, that it's better at home now than perhaps it has been in the past?
Yeah, I think obviously the last season we were not winning that many games, so it's always better when you're winning. And we have that feeling in the building when we're winning, especially at home. The crowd is with us; they are helping us in the tough moments. But we need to give them back as well. It should start from us. The performance we need to deliver, and that's the thing we're working on every day to perform that, to deliver that performance on a game day.
Finally, you've got a really, really busy run of fixtures coming up now over the Christmas period and into the new year. How pivotal can these next weeks be in determining whether you're going to be there for automatic promotion come the end of the season?
Yeah, it's a big time coming, a lot of games, and I think it's really crucial to be in a good form during that Christmas period of time, because, as you said, it could be... How did you use that word? Yeah, it's
congested.
Yeah, it could be massive for the whole season. And if you are in a good form, if you're like making points, it could be really quick to make many of them. So we need to start from tomorrow, and we don't really focus on the next games. And next games, just the one in front of us is the most important. So we will think about those games later on.
Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. We'll just come to Chris Nee from We Are Terriers next.
Thank you. Hi, Mel.
Hello, you all right?
Hi. Yourself and Matty have both proven that you can score a goal, and I'm wondering whether, with Matty picking up an injury, whether the manager has spoken to you about getting that first goal and now moving on and trying to fill in with those goals in the coming weeks.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, has Michael asked you to score more goals with Matty out?
Yeah, I think he's asking every player to score goals. You know, that's the main of the game. So like we didn't have a conversation that I need to score more goals. We're always looking for that. Like we are a team, so as a team we need to score more from a set plays, not especially me or especially Matti or I don't know anyone else, but. We're always looking to be a threat from a set play because I think we've got good physicality, whoever is playing, and we've got ability to score goals from the set plays. We've got good delivery, so we are trying to use it every time we've got a set play.
When you work on those set plays in training, are the plays designed to get specifically you guys as defenders in a position to attack the ball? Are you the focus of those crosses?
Yeah, we've got different patterns. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's strikers, sometimes it's different players. We need to mix it to don't be predictable, and we are preparing for every game something different to try to score a goal and surprise the opposition with our movement in the box.
And at the start of a season, do you, as a defender, do you ever set a target for how many goals that you want to score in a season? Is it part of what you want to achieve, or do you just have to focus on defending?
No, I've got my own goals for that season, but I'm not sure I want to speak about them in the press conferences. But yeah, it was more. I'm not gonna lie, it was more about the clean sheets because that's my first job, I would say, and I'm more focused on defending, and I think we've got a quality up front to score the goals from the open play, and that the set plays don't need to be our main threat. So first of all, I will try to do my job at the back, and if I can help the team up front, it will be a nice addition. But I think we've got a good players up front as well to score goals and yeah, and make points.
Wigan coming up tomorrow. What are you expecting to face from an attacking side from Wigan? What's your defensive challenge?
Yeah, I think they are a good side. It will be a good challenge, as you said. They're a good team. We've got a plan how to stop them, how to play against them, and yeah, we expect the good game of football, tough opposition. But I think it's still on us. If we perform, we are able to take 3 points of that game, and that's our main goal. To have another 3 points to win the game and to keep climbing in the table.
Brilliant. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. We'll just come to Stuart Rayner from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hi, Michał. How are you?
Hiya.
I just wanted to ask, does the fact that you've been out injured, obviously bad at the time, but does that leave you feeling a bit fresher and a bit readier for this busiest period of the season?
I think it is, yeah, because as I said, I used that time, I think, really well. I was trying to focus to make my body stronger, and obviously I couldn't work on that hamstring really strong because it was injured, but I really focused on the other muscles and the other part of my body. So I feel really ready now, fresh, because I think it works perfect for me that I played like I came back step by step. I think I played like 7 minutes, then 45, then 60 or something, then 70, then I think 90. But the opposition were man down, so it dropped the intensity of the game. So it worked for me perfectly for my comeback to the game. And yeah, I'm feeling fresh now. I'm feeling ready for that challenge of plenty of December's games.
Yeah. Is it important psychologically as much as anything? Because we always, every year, talk to you about how many games there are in December, and I guess it could get in your head a bit.
I think it is. It is a big thing mentally, how you will take it. I think it's if you keep saying it's a lot of games, or if you're not tired, your brain will be tired after that. So I think as a team we are fresh, we are ready to go, we are ready to take that challenge, and hopefully we will show it on the pitch. But as I said before, we are not really focused about how many games we've got. We only focus on tomorrow, and after tomorrow's games, we'll probably start focus on what's after. But at the minute, it's only tomorrow for us, and it's all about performance tomorrow.
Was your time at Barnsley the first time you played so many? You played over Christmas.
Yeah, that was my first time in Barnsley when I played there, and if I'm not wrong, it was the biggest run I've ever had, because I think we were around 9 games and we won 9 games in a row during that time. So it was a great time for me, the first season in Barnsley. And I hope we are able to repeat it here in Huddersfield.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like any team that can go on a run at this time of year, it's just even more important because the league table's just starting to take shape now. Yeah,
I agree, but every run needs to start from the first step, and that first step is tomorrow, and that's the most important step. So we can talk about the run and everything like this, but it's only about tomorrow, I would say, because there is no point talking about run if you will not succeed tomorrow. So our only focus is on tomorrow's game.
Sure. And Catherine mentioned, well, you mentioned to Catherine earlier about getting the trust of the fans back. I just wonder, in a time like this, how much do you notice the crowd when you're playing? Is it just that you maybe don't hear the actual chants, but you sort of feel the mood? Does it feel different this season to last season?
Yeah, you can definitely feel the mood on the stadium. If you like create a chance, you've got a shot, then the fans are like, you can feel the noise, you can hear the noise, you can feel the support they give to you, and I think that's the thing we need to use for us when we're playing at home, especially, but on the away games as well, because last game away the fans came with good numbers, give us a really good support, which help us to win the game. And I really believe that we both together, as players and every member of the staff and the fans, can create something special around that ground to make it really hard for the teams to come and play. And that's our main goal as well, to create that togetherness.
And obviously you had some time away from the team, from team training. Have you noticed a difference and improvement as the work this season has gone on when you've come back into the team? Does the team feel stronger? Does the mood feel better?
Yeah, I think we're improving. We're improving every day. We changed a few things around the training ground and habits, I would say, and I think it's pushing us forward. That's why I'm looking forward every day when I'm coming here to the building to improve myself, and I can see every other player doing this. So I think we are going in a good direction as a team and as a club.
Is that the most important thing about the mood that the manager has set, that it's all about improvement and just getting better as players every day?
Yeah, I think that's the environment we want to create in the building, and it's massive for me. If you're enjoying what you're doing every day, if you're coming with a smile on your face, obviously sometimes you don't need to smile like crazy to know everyone that you're happy, but and probably I'm not that person who is smiling every time everywhere. Sometimes I'm quiet, but I'm enjoying my work in this football club, and I think there is a good atmosphere around in the building at the moment, and I think we'll keep it after tomorrow's game or make it even better.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck on Tuesday, and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Stuart. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll speak to you again ahead of next with Michael Duff next. Sorry.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day. shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Thank you very much for rejoining us, everybody. I'm glad to be joined by head coach Michael Duff. We'll start again with Catherine Hannah from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you very much. Afternoon, Michael. Injury update, first of all. Can you tell us any more about Mikel Miller and how he's doing after the Leyton Orient game?
Yeah, Mikel is having an ill operation tomorrow. So he's pulled a part of his medial away from the bone, so that needs restitching. So you're looking at 3 or 4 months. So it's not ideal. Didn't look great at the day. Unfortunate, the lad's fallen into him. You know, it's not even a tackle or anything like that. The lad's just tripped over the ball and unfortunately fell into Mikel, and the way he's landed, it's not a great one. So it's another injury blow.
How is he?
He's all right. The first 48 hours are always a little bit, but they get their head around it pretty quickly. Funny how it works is his missus is due for his first baby in a week or two, so we'll something to look forward to. And you know, it's unfortunate for us, but it's part and parcel of being a footballer. You know, he's been frustrated with injuries before, which has always been muscle injuries and things like that. And the good bit is we've been churning 90 minutes out of him, and an innocuous stumble has cost him, has cost us. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Something we're going to have a think about.
And can you give us any update on Matty Pearson and Rhys Healey as well? I think the last time we spoke to you about them, they were due for scans to kind of see timescales. Can you tell us any more?
Matty's back training, which it doesn't surprise you knowing Matty. If there's any sort of chance to get on the training pitch, he thought it was a lot more significant what it was. He had a similar sensation to an injury he's had previously, which he was out a long time, and fortunately it's not proved to be the same thing. He's still got a sore foot, and whether tomorrow night's a bit too soon for him or not, but he's out on the training pitch. Rhys will be out for probably 6 to 8 weeks, I'd imagine. Fairly significant tear in his calf, so that won't be any time soon either.
Are you due anybody else back in time for tomorrow?
No, Rodinho Bolker's full training now. Last couple of days, Lass is full training, so no restrictions. So then, obviously, they're at different stages because of different length of injuries, but we're looking to try and get some sort of return to play protocol into them now, which is another positive.
Yeah, might we see both of them before Christmas, or will that be too soon?
Last definitely before Christmas. Rads is obviously, he's got to do a pre-season now, and it's difficult trying to get games at this time of year because there's so many league games. So it's trying to get him fit and trying to give him opportunities. It literally is the first couple of days, so he's a little bit tentative and ginger and apprehensive with the just football movements as much as anything, but getting his pitch geography back. But it's great to see him back.
A couple of things to follow up from after the win at Leyton Orient then. You were going to give some thought to penalty takers going forward. Is that a conversation you've had now, and should you get one tomorrow night, who's taking it?
Yeah, they're conversations we've had. Hopefully we'll get one. But yeah, so I think Josh was honest enough to go, no, it's okay, you can miss one, but once you've missed two, you got to revisit it. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Josh, but that's just the way it is.
Who's taking him then?
I can't be telling you that because I don't know who's on the pitch at that time, but we'll definitely have set penalty takers for if and when the moment comes.
The other thing you talked about was, despite winning at Leyton Orient, not being too reliant on set plays to deliver the goals. And I think you said you were a bit frustrated at things breaking down at the top line. I wondered if you could explain a little bit more about that and what you're looking for your players to make sure that it's not just set plays where the threat's coming from.
Well, I think you look at all the championships against Leyton Orient, it's from set plays and counter-attacks and pressing. So when I'm talking about things, we want to build, we want to play, but the ball goes into certain areas. And when you play two up front, because we don't play with wingers, so it needs to go into the front. They get hold of it, they set, and then we get people running from there. And if it keeps breaking down on that bit, the caveat to that is that you never get enough chances because it keeps breaking down in the first part of it. So it's just getting them to try and be a little bit more reliable. You know, Callum Marshall's come off twice at half time because we felt he was being a bit too loose at the time, and it's not just Callum. Callum responded brilliantly. And we have different profiles as centre forwards, but ultimately it doesn't matter what profile they are. If they don't hold the ball up, it's difficult. So, and that comes with pressure. But that's, you know, if you don't want pressure, then you're in the wrong job or the wrong industry, because you represent a big club and everyone's got roles and responsibilities, and part of a centre forward's responsibility is to hold the ball up.
Do you have to think again about how those deliveries are coming in, particularly when you're missing the likes now of Michał Miller for a few weeks, as to how you actually, you know, create those opportunities in the first place?
Yeah, I don't think creating opportunities has been a problem. I think we've created loads of chances. Not many games where we haven't scored. But it's just trying to be a bit more prolific in the front part of the team. It has been a lot of set players and a lot of midfielders. So it's just trying to add the next part of it up. You know, we do create chances. So yeah, it's something we're going to have to revisit. Mikel is a natural lefty. He's more of a winger than he is a defender. So we have to try and think of or come up with a plan. Well, we have come up with a plan of how we can try and still be as creative without losing too much in that part of it.
Wigan tomorrow then, what sort of challenge are you expecting from them?
They're a good team. Not conceded many goals at all. I think they conceded less than us. Good away record. They've won the last 3 games. Play really expansive football. Young team, so with that brings energy. Sometimes can be a good and a bad thing with a young team, because you catch them on a bad day and they can really, really hurt you, but then probably a little bit more inconsistent than what they would want to be based off the age of it. But they've got some good players and a real clear style way of playing, which a lot of teams are doing at the minute. They build in a 3 and end up being a back 4. We're the opposite. We start as a 3 but end up defending in a 4. So it's the way football's going. You've got to be fluid. But yeah, a tough challenge, a difficult opponent.
You say they're good away from home. Equally, Huddersfield Town have been very good at home this season. So again, does that sort of set a bit of a benchmark if you can get another 3 points at home against a team who will bring something to the party?
They'll definitely bring challenges. But with anyone in this league, if we turn up and deliver what we've shown we can in moments and got better in recent weeks, then we're more than a match for anyone. So we have to be aware of their threats and respect, and be humble enough to know that they can hurt us. But having the mentality that if we rock up and we deliver our best performance, then we can win any game at home.
We've talked about the injury list. It seems to be that as soon as somebody comes back, somebody else goes out. Are you starting to have conversations about the January transfer window now, and have injuries to the likes of Michał Miller, Reece Healy? Does that change the way you have to approach that window? Yeah,
well, things like the Mikel's injury, because it's such a significant one. It's not a couple of weeks. It's not even 4 or 5 weeks. It's a 3-month injury, 4-month injury, which gets you close towards the end of the season. So it's pretty fluid. We've got obvious targets. Which haven't really changed for quite. But these are weekly meetings. The recruitment team are in a couple of days a week, because the rest of it they're out watching games. So we touch base with them, touch base with Mark, in terms of what is available, what isn't. Obviously, lots more conversations now are starting to go on. I'm starting to get a lot of texts and things about our players. So people are trying to get their ducks in a row as early as you can, but you've got to be pretty fluid once the window opens. It's pretty reactionary, because unfortunately, in this industry, you can't plan too much. And how difficult, in your experience, a window is January generally, particularly from the point of view of bringing players in as opposed to keeping hold of the ones you've got? Yeah, the general problem is when you're bringing people in, they're available for a reason. So it either means that they've not been playing at a club, so they're not fit. And so that's the main part, is that you're bringing someone in. Normally pre-season is great, because you do a pre-season with them, so you get them fit and they get an understanding. They're coming into a foreign environment. Generally, they're undercooked, unless you're prepared to go and pay over the odds, which is generally what happens in January. You pay too much for someone that you really, really want. Someone doesn't want to lose them, but you're prepared to pay the premium. That's what January generally is the premium. So they're the two things you've got to work out. Is have you got better in the building, if it's going to take 2 months to get them up to speed, is there any point? Are we prepared to pay over the odds if we think it is over the odds? So these are all conversations. Then you've got salaries and agents and all, they muddy the water as well. So it's all right us having an idea, but there's so many moving parts to get a transfer done.
Finally, on that note then, do you sense that the chairman would be willing to pay over the odds to get the right person if it means maybe the difference between automatic promotion and playoffs?
I think he'll pay a price if we think it's the right one. But there is no guarantees in football. And it's difficult. It's a difficult market. Everyone says the same thing, and it is for a reason, but sometimes it's needs musts. So I think the chairman's come out publicly and said that if he thinks it's the right one. But there's been deals even in the summer that we pulled out of because it got silly. So I think we're not prepared to go and, I don't think it's betting the ranch, but not to just be held to ransom because we're a big club in this league. There's always a tipping point, and it's obviously that's him and Mark's job and the CEO's job more than mine. You know, I say, well, I quite like him, I don't like him, or I'll sometimes have an input in terms of I don't think he's worth it, but ultimately it's not my money. You know, that's the head coach bit in terms of I don't look after budgets or things like that. So I just want the best players.
Thank you very much. Interesting few weeks ahead. Thanks, Michael.
Cheers, Catherine. We'll just come to Chris Nee stepping in for Stephen Chicken from We Are Terriers.
Thank you. Hi, Michael.
Hi, mate.
Just to start with Mikel and the what's left behind with his injury, is your alternative on the left an obvious one, or is it something that you've really had to puzzle over?
Well, we've got 3 or 4 options really. You've got obviously your natural ones in terms of Josh Ruffles and Jaheim, who've played there before. Brodie Spencer's gone and played out there. His last two appearances actually have been both international matches, both playing left wing back. So there are options. We've got to try and just pick the right one, and then depending on who it is, then obviously they've got those 3 players are completely different profiles. So whichever one we pick, then you've got different types of patterns that have to get tweaked to adapt to them, to help them adapt to how we want it to look.
Have you decided on what you're going to do just for tomorrow, or are you looking ahead to Mansfield and beyond in terms of fitting somebody into that spot?
Just tomorrow at the minute, because sometimes you never know, you land on things in football. You know, not everything's prescribed. It's amazing sometimes that we've been playing a 2 and a 1 for the last 2 or 3 months. Started off as a 1 and 2. So sometimes if you land on something and you just run with it, so sometimes it's not prescribed. But yeah, I think we're fully focused just on this one game at the minute, and then we'll move on, because whatever we choose, it might work tomorrow, it might not. If it doesn't work, we've got to revisit it. So until we know that, we can't plan too far ahead.
Wigan have picked up a couple of league wins after a reasonably poor run. Their win at Barnsley, given league position, is one that sort of stands out. Are you going to be looking to take the sting out of them in the first half of that game? Because I think they're going to be up for it.
We'll look to impose our game on them. As I said earlier, you've got to respect and what the threats that they have, and be aware of how to deal with the threats. Then if we can impact our game on them, they've got to worry about us. So which is the same as every game. I don't think we are a team that would just completely focus on us. Some football clubs don't even look at the opposition and go, well, this is what we do, this is the way we play. Some teams almost focus too much on the opposition. I think we've got a healthy balance here where we identify the strengths and the weaknesses. We've been through it today, but also we've identified the weaknesses that we can go and hurt them in certain areas of the pitch. So if we can do that better than them, hopefully we create more chances, score more goals and win the game.
They've proved themselves to be defensively solid, but of course you've had an additional weekend to kind of get ready for that. And Cambridge took them all the way as well in the Cup. Does the extra time that you have compared to the opposition, does that alter your thinking in any way or your preparation?
It's the only way it's altered our prep is that we were in yesterday. So the lads are never in on Sunday, but they didn't play. They weren't getting a weekend off, as I said before, because the only reason we didn't have a game is because we got beat by Tamworth. So the players weren't getting rewarded with a weekend off. So we've just turned last week almost into a normal week where We played on Tuesday, we were off Wednesday, in Thursday, Friday, off Saturday, in Sunday, Monday. So it's a normal running for a normal week. So we try to keep it as normal as possible. The players this time of year, you're getting into a point now where, days and the time of the year, it's irrelevant for footballers because it's game, rest, and people are off when you get into the Christmas period, Christmas days, all things like that, where you're just working. So you get used to it, but it hasn't changed the fact that they had a game at the weekend and we haven't. It just means we can do a little bit more prep, which we have.
You mentioned Jaheim earlier as well, and Danny missed out as well. Are they both available if required?
Yeah. Got a big squad. So unfortunately, there's always somebody who's got to miss out, and it's not been a consistent 2 or 3. Ollie Turton missed out on the first probably 10 league games of the season. He started the last couple. So if they train properly and they conduct themselves properly and their attitude's good, they're always in the thinking. And it doesn't mean they'll always get in the squad, but they're always part of the thinking, and that's been no different with anyone else.
Brilliant. That's all from me. Thanks, Michael.
Cheers, Chris. We'll just come to Stuart Rayner from Yorkshire Post to end up.
Afternoon, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. The home form's been building and it is very impressive. You've never been a sort of quick fix manager. You've always tried to be someone who puts structures in place. Do you feel as though the home supporters are coming to better understand what you're trying to do, better appreciate what the team is doing?
I don't know. Hopefully, I don't think you can do much more than winning 6. We had about 3 or 4 days at home. We've won every other game since. So we've said all the way along, right from the very start, we need to build the relationship with the supporters. They've been let down a lot over the last few years, so it's our responsibility. So I'm never going to come out and say, well, they need to get this. I've always said, just try and support the team for 90 minutes, and at the end, that's when you react. Hopefully, they can see that we are trying to build. I think we have got somewhere a little bit in the last couple of weeks in terms of the mentality. Again, it takes so much time to build things because I'm here to try and build something, and I'm trying to give it the foundations. Easy for me. People in my job always say they need time because it's a fact you do, but you always have to win enough games. So I think the supporters have seen some improvements, hopefully. The results have definitely improved. I think we've lost 1 in 10 or 11 now. Obviously the one being the obvious one in terms of Tamworth. So there's a long way to go. We need to earn their trust. But hopefully the one thing that we'll see is that I don't think there's been any games this season where the players have walked off the pitch and the supporters could turn around and go, well, they never tried a leg. We've been poor in games, don't get me wrong. And things, the Blackpool game, I held my hand up, I think I picked the wrong team in that one and probably set them up wrong, so I probably set them up for a fail on that one. But they've had a go. And that's all that, I think that's what supporters want to see. Yes, they want to see quality, fast-flowing, free football, I get all that. That's what we want as well. That's what we spend all week trying to do. It's trying to replicate it and implement that as often as we can. But, the supporters have been great. I think 18,000, 19,000 every week in League One is brilliant. And it's a good place to come when you start getting that momentum, start getting that feeling. But it's really important that we don't take it for granted and that we don't just assume this is where we got to before those 2 games. I remember sitting in this interview and it's like, well, the next 2 home games, you win them and then we'll go on and we get beat. And we have to spend a long time working our way out of the hole that we dug ourselves, and that's probably where we've got to now, where we got ourselves level par again, so to speak. So now we need to kick on. We can't rely on that run's just got out of a hole. Now can we kick on, and that's the mentality we need to show.
Do you think you've obviously managed different clubs in different parts of the country? Do you think there's an element of getting to know what the home fans demand, or is that just the same regard? I'm thinking particularly about Swansea have a sort of certain identity. Do you feel you need to get to know that when you're at a football club, or as I say, is it just fundamentals that you apply everywhere?
Well, I think I said it at the start. The Swansea one wasn't a great fit for anyone. It wasn't great for them. Wasn't great for me. Good people at the club, brilliant football club, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But no, I think the way I want to play and what I expect from my players is core values, really, as much as anything, in terms of humility, hard work, honesty, and then we want to play some good football as well. And I've played in the north, played in the southwest, managed in the north, managed in the southwest. So as long as they can see that's what you're trying to implement, I think what I'd like to see, can't speak today. What I'd like supporters to see, they can see what we're trying to do. They can see that there's work going on the training ground. We can see that we don't just turn up, throw a load of magnets at the wall and go, well, we'll pick them 11 and see what they do. I think there's a structure to what we're trying to do. It might not always work, and it might break down and those sorts of things, but if you do fail, it's, from my opinion, it can't be through lack of hard work. I've said it all the time, hard work pays you back, whether that's Ollie Turton getting himself in the starting 11 or you go on a bad run, you just keep working and you get yourselves out of it. And it's worked for me in terms of as a player, worked as a manager. I've only been sacked once in 6 years, which is not bad in my line of work. So it's, like you said, trying to build something, because I think there's a brilliant opportunity here to do something with a really, really good football club with an ambitious owner. But it's the building part is the important bit, because I'd rather, it's just the way I think, is that you can come in and play five-a-sides and it might work for a couple of months. It'll catch you out eventually. And that's what you don't want. And I don't know whether it might be something to do with me. Like I said, I had a slow start at Cheltenham, I had a slow start at Barnsley. I had a slow everything at Swansea, and then it's been a stop-start here. But I think we're showing signs of progress, which is the most important part.
And it must be brilliant as a manager having someone like Matty Pearson, straight back on the training ground after an injury like that. Do you have to be a bit careful sometimes to just protect those guys from themselves?
Yeah, someone like Matty, yeah, because Matty will run in front of a car. He will put his head anywhere, and he'll put his body on the line to a point where detrimentally for him. So sometimes you have to save them from themselves, where you get some players who literally have to be 100% everything before they even set foot on the training pitch. But that happens at every football club, and that's not an accusation of anyone of our players. I'm just saying that's the profile of footballers. He gives you everything. When you talk about supporters, there's loads of things Matty can't do, but I don't think there'll be many Huddersfield supporters that don't speak glowingly of him because of his just never say die attitude. And he comes off the pitch, his lungs are coming out of his mouth, he'll have blood and cuts and all this sort of stuff. And sometimes he might have given the ball away a couple of times, or he would have made a mistake, but his endeavour and his honesty is what people look for. So yeah, you'd have 11 of him on the team all the time.
Smashing. Thanks very much for your time, Michael. Good luck with it.
Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, Stu. We'll speak to everyone again before the game tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.